Welcome back, everyone. It's a nice and cold Friday morning right now where I'm filming. It's -2 degrees Celsius, and we're gonna get started on the next video in our project series. So to pick up right where we left off, we're gonna be removing the 2 transom planks on the back of the boat using our fastener bit and our Robertson or square drive bit to get those off. Got my custom little chair right here with the cut off legs so I can work on the ground without hurting my back. And I'm going to be going around here and getting all these little plugs out, and then of course taking out the fasteners as well. So now I have all of the plugs drilled out of the transom. The next step is going to be going in here and cleaning out all the little gunk that's accumulated up in there. It's usually sealant, a little bit of wood, and then we can begin removing the fasteners from here. Now we're going to go ahead and remove the plank off of the back. Wow, that came off a lot better than the last plank. It actually came off in one piece. All right, see if the next one will do the same. Now, of course, we also have the deck fasteners along this edge here, and some of them are going to be up into this plank. So we're going to very carefully remove these because I want to keep this deck intact, and I want to make sure that I can get these plugs out, put new ones in, and have them be, you know, somewhat close to the original color. There is a chance that we refinish this deck, so I'm not super concerned at the moment because, you know, you can see the cracking, which of course will expand once some water enters it. But for the case of the deck, we want to make sure there's nice crisp lines on here. So there is a chance we do redo the surface, but for now I'm just going to very carefully remove these, take the fasteners out so I can get this plank off. And it's exactly the same process as up here, taking a fastener bit or even a pick and digging this out, and then of course removing the fastener. So I'm just removing this bottom plank right now, and one thing I have noticed is that the edge of the top of the deck here is crumbling. Now if you take a look at it from this angle, you can see how thin it is. Okay, how thin the edge, the leading edge on this piece of wood is here. And if we take a look at this plank that I just pulled off, so it came from right here, you can see there's like hardened, it's like hardened material here. So this is a cured epoxy of some sort. You can see that it's stuck to the transom plank here as well. And the reason for that is that every time they replace these rear planks and they put in new plugs, they have to sand, they have to fair, and over time this edge starts to get sanded so much that it starts to recede into the boat. So the deck will likely have to be refinished once we're done with the transom here. And that being said, I mean, it's already pretty bad. You can see daylight through here. I mean, these pieces are not held together very well, and for what they are, I mean, they're just short little planks anyways. We'll probably have to end up redoing those. It's just one of those things, like if I'm going to do the bottom up here and that's all I've intended to do, you can see how it slowly works its way around. And that's just due to the fact that these boats are made of wood, so I can't unscrew something and then screw something back on without, you know, having to sand things, without having to have the possibility of something breaking. It's just kind of what happens in the process of these. So when I take a look at this boat and I say, okay, well, I'm only going to do the bottom, that's all fine and dandy, but at some point I'm going to have to do the transom, right? I'm going to have to possibly do the deck if it's down this far. And it's just kind of the nature of how these wooden boats are. You can repair them and redo areas, or you can replace everything and just start from scratch. So that you know it's good and you know that it's been done. Again, there's varying levels of work on these, just the same as a car would be. So for a hot rod, you could put a new engine in it and then have the old drive line. Or you could put a new engine in it, you could put in a new drive line and have the old frame. You know, you can continue to build it however much you want, but it really depends on what your final goal is with the project. Now this boat, we can liken this boat to an old car that is, you know, a little bit rusty. The door panels don't fit very well. The interior is kind of in shambles, but we put a new engine in it, we put a new suspension, put on new tires, and get it running on the road. That's essentially what we're doing here. I'm not doing a complete restoration like these boats. I'm trying to make this work with what I have. And again, that's the whole point of the series, is that I'm just trying to show you guys how you can make it work. Getting silicone bronze fasteners, it might not be possible where you are. You might have a hard time getting them. So making do with what you have, doing the best you can with that, that's what this series is about. And in the future, we're gonna do, you know, series on complete restorations where we do use silicone bronze. And we do make sure that we varnish and we sand everything very nice, and the plugs are all the same. But this boat, you can just think of this as an old hot rod with a new engine. That's all we're really doing. We're just trying to get it running again so we can get it back on the water. And seeing as this is just a fun boat for the staff here to enjoy some time on the water with their families, that's all this really is. We're not making a boat that's gonna last 100 years and look perfect forever. I mean, even the hull sides on this aren't that good. I don't know if you can see the little repairs that they've done. It's not perfect. And that's just the way this boat's gonna be. So if you guys are just trying to get your boat on the water, this is a great series. If you're new to boat building and you're just learning about it, this is a great beginner step. This is the first introduction for these series on the boat. But this is by no means how we would do it professionally on a full restoration. So I just want to mention that because, again, we're going to keep running into things like this where they're fixed by epoxy, or they're not quite perfect, or we're not using quite the right material. I understand. We're just trying to get this on the water and see if it can float. And if this thing lasts us 10, 20 years, that's awesome. That's really good. We're not trying to make this thing look show ready and be presentable at shows as a full restoration. It's an old car with a new engine, and that's all it is. So I'm going to continue removing the rest of the wood here and get this material off. And then I noticed the trim piece has to come off as well on this side. I forgot to remove that a couple of videos ago. Once that's done, we're going to do what we did last time up here and slowly remove all the 5200. We're going to fair it with the plane, get everything nice and clean, and then it's back to fitting on a large piece of marine plywood. So of course, just like last video, we're going to be taking our cutoff. We're going to get the sharpened edge bit for it, and we're going to be taking off all of the silicone and then going over it, making sure that we have no fasteners sticking up, and then taking our plane and cleaning up the entire surface, making sure we're going over it at least 3 to 4 times to make sure we get about 1 mil of material off. And then once it's all ready to go, we can begin plotting out where we're going to be putting that big piece. So I've done a few passes with the plane. I'm just gonna go ahead and sand some of this area up, and then I'm gonna go over it once more just to make sure everything's nice and flat and smooth, and then we can proceed on to the next step. So there we are, we have the transom removed off of the back of the boat here. I swept up a little bit too because there's just piles of wood. But yeah, we got the transom removed, it's all cleaned up, it's been planed. The remaining fasteners that were stuck in there have been taken out as well. And we can take a look at the condition of the rest of the wood here. It's nice and dry. It's white oak, it appears, and it all seems to be in really good condition. The only bit of oil soaking is right here, but it's not to the point where it's flaking off. It's just kind of, you know, penetrated a little bit, but nothing crazy. So thankfully the rest of it looks pretty good. So to move on to the next step, now that we've got it all cleaned up, we are going to be prepping, getting that giant piece of plywood fit onto the back of this, and it'll be a lot like the process we did the first time around with that little piece of ply, except, you know, it'll be a giant piece of ply. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on building the marine plywood transom plank here and get that all situated. So it looks like it's going to be under 5 foot this way and then under 2.5 this way. So I'm going to do 5 feet by 2.5 feet so I have some extra material. Again, it's really important you have extra material. So let's head off to the wood shop. Here we are in the wood shop area. We got Artem working over here. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
You doing good, man? What you working on?
I work in easy buttons. Try the shape. Pretty good.
Nice. Yeah, he's putting battens on the side of this gravette here so that we can get some new wood put on the hull sides. And we're actually doing a progress video on this, so we've been recording since before the hull sides were on. So sometime in the future, we're gonna have a full video on a Friday video, a breakdown of what we did to the boat, what it looked like before, what it looked like after, so that'll be pretty sweet. Oh. Good catch. So heading on over here, what we're looking for is 3mm marine ply, and we're looking for about a 5x2 piece. So it looks like we pretty much just have this one piece here. Not really seeing a whole lot. We got a lot of 9mm, 6mm, all that, but we actually need 3 or 4mm for what we're trying to do. So we're gonna have to order some of that plywood in, which is fine. We actually need to get a fresh new supply of them anyway, so we'll get some of that coming in. But we actually have plenty more to do on that boat before we end the video for today, so I'm gonna show you guys the next step on what we're gonna do to prep the surface for that marine ply. Now for this next step, there is quite a few different ways that people can do it. I'm gonna show you the way that we're gonna do it. And to start off, what I'm talking about is filling all these little screw holes and all of these holes where these screw heads are in, as well as the cracks and yada yada, all that stuff. So to start off with, what we're gonna be doing is taking dowels of various thickness. You can get these at Home Depot, Home Hardware, arts and craft stores like Michael's have them. And we're gonna be dipping them in wood glue, sticking them in the holes, cutting the edges off, and getting them all nice and flush. So to start off, I'm gonna be taking my wood glue, just putting a generous amount in here. It's probably good. Then I'm gonna take my dowels here. You can see I have Woodcraft dowels. I also have a size up that's just bamboo skewers, and then another set of bamboo skewers. So I have a couple of different sizes to choose from, depending on how large the hole is. More than likely, it'll probably be around this thickness. So yeah, that's a good fit. We want to make sure it's really nice tight fit, so when we tap the wood in there, it stays in place. I'm going to take my skewer, run it around in the wood glue, wiping off the excess, so there's a little bit of wood glue on there. And I'm going to take it, push it into the end. I'll cut that off, and then once this is sticking out, we'll just very gently tap that till we know it is bottomed out in there, and that will be a really nice repair. So we're going to go around and do every single hole in the transom, as well as these larger holes. Again, we have larger dowels for these holes that we will be using. The reason for this is that we want to make sure that we're not going to be splitting the wood when we go to drill it, that we are filling in these holes where screws have already been, so we don't have any screws spinning around. And some of them actually have metal still in them, so it's nice to just get this all filled in so it's nice and smooth surface, and it's easier to seal, and we don't have any potential for water getting into the wood. So there we go, we got pretty much almost every little screw hole filled here. You can see from the side how many we've put in. Once those are dry, then we'll go ahead and trim them off and sand them flush. And then after that, we're gonna use a product called S1. Now this is the product here that we use. It's called S1 Clear Penetrating Epoxy Sealer. So it's a part 1 and a part 2 epoxy. And I believe the ratio, if you look on the back, is 1:1. So we'll mix 50% of this, 50% of that, mix it together. Now this stuff is fairly thin, it's like water, so the whole purpose of this is that when we mix the S1 up and we apply it to the back area on the transom here, what we're trying to do is work it into all these little cracks and seal the actual surface itself. So we can't necessarily paint on here to seal it. That just won't work as well. But the S1, like this right here, is a great example. We'll be able to get into this crack and seal all of this area off. I believe we did actually have somebody asking about S1 in an earlier video. And to answer your question, yes, we are going to be sealing all of these frames with this product as well as also painting it. So that way we know it's waterproof, it's visibly painted, it'll be nice and rigid for once it's all put together. And then finally, after the S1 is applied, it's cured and it's ready to go, the final step from there will be applying the epoxy with a little bit of thickener into these larger areas. Seeing as there is screw heads in here, I can't necessarily build dowels that will fit in the depth that they're in. It would just be kind of tedious and pointless. Try to hold them in place there and seal them. So what we're gonna do is, again, break all these off, S1 sealant. Once that's all done, then we'll go ahead and put epoxy into the larger areas on the surface. That'll give us a really flat, completely sealed area for us to put the transom ply on the back. Now, of course, in terms of staging it, waiting for it to dry, and then actually doing the install, what we're gonna have to do is, I am running out of time today because I have to edit this video before the end of the day as well, but what we're gonna do next time is I'm gonna break all these off and sand these. We'll make our plywood piece, take it off, and then we'll do our epoxy so it's ready for the round after that to be installed. But yeah, thanks for tuning into the video today, guys. I hope you learned something from that or just got some entertainment from it. Feel free to drop a comment or a like, it really helps our channel out. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. We have plenty more interesting projects coming through the pipeline. And in fact, next week's video might not be about boats or this boat or any boats at all. I actually have a secret project that we are going to be doing next week. That's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a little bit different. It's going to kind of shake up the channel a little bit. So I hope you guys stay tuned for that, because that will be quite an interesting little project that we're going to work on. We have a customer of ours who owns a boat that we've done work on, and he's bringing us something else. So I hope you guys stay tuned to that, because that's going to be a lot of fun, that video. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys next week.